happy Tuesday. How are you guys all doing today? I hope you guys are doing fabulous. You're going to see this weird contraption on my hat today. It's going to be most part out of your way, but it's my microphone. And if I have it up here, it's super choking me at this point. So good evening. How you guys doing? You guys doing fabulous? Sorry I missed y'all on Sunday. It was a tad bit chilly here in the Northeast. For those who were blissfully unaware, we hit to like negative 42 with the wind chill here in the Northeast, making my shop very cold for me to work in, which was hard, let me tell you. My shop doesn't actually have heat in it per se. It takes the residual heat from the house and pushes it through these windows. It was 58 degrees in my shop, and no one should ever have to work in those conditions. And being first thing in the morning, it just didn't make it fun at all for anyone. So let me make sure we are where we're supposed to be and all of the things. So hello to everyone on Facebook and hello to everyone on YouTube. Say good evening to Miss Jody, who's behind the helm today. She is going to be the voice from beyond. You might not see her, but she will be answering your questions in the comment section. And if there's anything that's pertinent that I need to slow down or I need to have you, reach out to me. And she's like, Nikki, hold on. Can you re-explain that? Jody will be that voice that you'll hear. Say hello, Jody. She's like, I got to unmute myself.
Hello, Jody.
So Jody is behind the camera today. She'll be answering your questions. If you are coming up as a Facebook user, that fabulous user we like to give you the big FU for, please make sure you go give StreamYard the permissions. It's in the link above this video. Make sure you please let everybody know when you hear on Facebook watching me, you just let everybody know. So what is on tap for tonight? Well, we are going to be pressing the neoprene mats, the desk mats from RREM distributors. We're going to have Miss Jody put it up on the screen so you guys will be able to click on her link. Now, we'll be doing that. Plus, I'm going to eat crow. We're actually going to do something. I said, I will never do this. I won't touch it in a million years. But I keep seeing something, and I'm like, I got to know how they did it, which is going to cause me to actually use a product that I refuse to use, but we'll get more to that. So if you want to watch me eat crow, by all means, watch to the end, okay? So right now, everything is printing, but I want to talk to you about some of the things you're going to need for these desk mats. These desk mats from RREM distributors, as you can see, I'll move it over to the camera. As you guys can see, I've already pressed one of them. I can tell you all the flaws in this thing that I had with it. Now you're going, Nikki, how in the actual? Well, let me explain some things. So this was a 2-piece. So I have a 13 by 19 printer. All right. So it's 2 pieces because these are, your press needs to be about 12.9 to 12.95 by 32 inches. Okay. So you want to give yourself enough bleed on the outside edge because it is a fabric neoprene. It will spread out a little bit. I will say though, for the most part, neoprene swells when you press it. This didn't press or swell at all. I was rather impressed by it. I like the fact that it has the black edging because if you do go into the overprint, you're not worried about some sort of white edging. Now, I did have to double press it, which here's where I lined up my seam. And don't worry, I'll show you my errors. And so here's where it met up. If I had lined it up perfectly, you would have never have known. I deliberately did a dark color because I wanted to show you what happens when you create this kind of craziness. All right. And you can see where I double pressed it. All right. So there is that part of it. So let me get up close to the camera so I can show you my flaws. Okay. So in the flaws category, all right, let me just move. I have phones and stuff all over the place. Hold up. There we go. Whoops. I'm hitting buttons. Okay. So as you can see, right, you can see exactly where I did not line it up correctly. And this pattern, not forgiving at all. So that is where that is. If your eye goes up from here's that line up to here, this is where I double pressed it. It is much harder to see, but your girl can see it. Now, I will show you too, There was some pressure issues because I have a clamshell. We're going to talk about that as well. But those were just the minor issues. Nothing too crazy. I'm like, I could sell this for the win. Yay me, right? I've seen more flawed things at the Walmart, the Kohl's, the Macy's than anything else. And so why am I judgy? What are some things you're going to need for this project? Well, can you press it just as is on your press? Yes. Yes, you can. Do I feel like you're going to need a little bit of help with a board? Well, yes. Yes, I do. Okay. So here is my board. This is that board method we talk about all the time. Oh, if you happen to see a little fur baby wandering the background in the shop, Charlie decided that this is our playtime and mommy is not supposed to be live. So I am going to loosen this. Now what I'm going to do, for pressure's sake, is flip this upside down. Perfect. Okay. So here are some things you need to know. This is 30 by 24 inches. So I took a 2 foot by 4 foot board. I cut it down so that I could use this to make a bigger bottom platen for my heat press. Why do I do that? Because watch, when I take this and I put it on there, do you see what happens? It flattens it out. It allows for you to be able to do this without having it bend over, creating more issues than it needs to be. All right, so there's that part of it. Sorry, getting my paper before the dog does. So that helps for that. Now, what it also does is it allows you to have some free, once you lay this out, this allows you to do this. Now, I did cover this with some Teflon, which you can get from the good old Amazon, by the roll, and then you roll it out and cover your board. Now, it's just an MDF board. Don't worry about what kind of board it is. It is about a 1/2 inch to thick, so that was definitely important to me. I've had this board now for a few years, and there's no warping because I'm not pressing all that many items using this board. I do my baby blankets on this board. I do all sorts of things with this board. Why? Because it allows for me to have a nice even pressure without any bends in the program here. So that's one thing you're going to need. All right. Now with neoprene and anything that is fabric, you do want to lint roll, lint roll, lint roll. It doesn't matter how long this item has been wrapped up tight in plastic. Lint happens. Okay. So I want to get all those fibers off this thing. And you're going to watch me do something too. So I have my velvet lint roller. I could have used my sticky lint roller. Now I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to go in the other direction. Because anything that might have gotten smushed down is going to get picked back up. Now, do I pre-press this? I typically do not pre-press my neoprene because, again, for the swelling issue, there is that. What I am going to do is prep the board. So how do we prep the board? Well, we want to make sure that we have a piece of butcher paper. I will tape my butcher paper to the board, this bottom one. I don't need anything slipping while I'm turning it. None of that jazz. I'll just tape it to the board. The beautiful thing about Teflon is that it doesn't slide. It doesn't unstick. Okay. So we have that. Move this stuff out of the way. Now I have both of my prints. And I did what I like to call a very forgiving print. I'm going to switch the camera over so you guys can watch me. I did a very forgiving print. Even though this print has details and stuff like that, it has a whitish background. I also decided where was going to be the best possible place to create my seam, right? Because I'm going to have the seam. And you're going, Nikki, that's right through words. That's okay. It's okay. All right. So I'm going to trim this up so that it fits here. Now, I will trim this up afterwards, but for right now, I want this one trimmed. Okay. So we're going to get my handy dandy little thingy here. Let's move this out of the way. These beautiful children that are on here are Miss Beverly's. I called her and said, hey, so how fast can you get me pictures of the kids? She was like, I can. All right, so I'm going to line this up. Can you use a paper cutter? Of course you can. Just going to slide this so it's in there. So don't mind me. I'm going to just talk to myself over here. Okay. And we're just going to X-Acto knife it down. You can use whatever you want to use. That is completely up to you at this point. I just want to make sure mine is a straight edge and we're good. Okay. So now what I want to do is line this up. Now, one of the things I will tell you I have learned about lining things up when it comes to this is I take a piece of tape. 2 to be exact. Okay. Hopefully you can see this. So I'm going to take this tape and I'm going to tape it just to this top edge, just so it barely hangs over. Okay. And I'll show you in the camera in a second what that looks like. Okay. We're going to end up cutting this off. This is just a tack down. So if you look in the smaller camera, it's only just barely a half on, half off. Okay. So now we're going to line this up to where it needs to be. And like I said, I gave myself the grace one needs to do this job. So I made sure that it was where it needed to be. Everything is lined up. Perfect. So you know those pieces of tape up here? That's where I will tape them for the moment because I got to flip it over. Now, so you can leave this here. I will end up cutting it back a little bit, but now it gives me the idea of where, get my scissors. This has got to sit on this upside edge. Now, I will tell you, it is not 100% even. Hold up. It is not even. Look at that action. But the image lines up even. Okay, how did I do that? You're like, see, even she fiddles with it. I do. Okay. So I'm going to take that little piece of tape. Seems like a little bit of an, you're like fiddling with it too much, Nick. No, I'm not really. I just want to come to where this edge is. So the only problem I will tell you is these, like I create like a dog ear because I'm going to go through and trim the back side of this. And the reason being is because I don't want all of that bulk underneath there. I mean, neoprene is not very forgiving to begin with. So I will literally go on the edge and come around the back side, right? Flip this over, pull this off. Okay. So now I know where it needs to kind of be. Could I have trimmed it down before? Yeah, absolutely I could have. Did I? No, but that's how you get around it. There's your workaround. Okay. Now that she's all set, I don't know why I just don't bring the tape over here. Why do I do this to myself? And I'll go right down that seam. Think tumbler when you go down your seams. Okay. And there we go. And now she's one piece. Again, I'll flip that tape over because I had it too long. Flip it over. How are we doing in the comment section, Jode? Okay. So now,
we're doing great.
Okay. So now, logistically, this is perfect. What I'm going to do, because this is such a bigger surface than my actual board thing is, layer out. Oh, Beverly. See, this is too big. The board is not too big. This mat's big. But I don't want you to be afraid to do large items. Okay? I left a generous bleed for shift. Now, I am going to literally tape the dickens out of this thing because I'm going to be moving my board around and I don't need issues. I just don't need issues. So I will add a few, what feels like thousands of pieces of tape. All right, all the way around because I'm about to flip this. Okay. Okay. So she's all taped and we're flipping. Now, what I'm going to do too is I want to run my finger right along this edge. Okay. And the reason I'm running along the edge is I want to know where that edge is for under the press. So my press is here. I'm putting the board right against this edge. I know this is going to be covered in underneath. So I want to slide everything forward because I do not want my seam, and it's hard to see in the picture. I do not want my seam outside of my press. You don't also want to, let's see if I can move this up just a little bit. There we go. This tape line has to be in underneath your press. Okay. So the reason being is your press, if it were on here, let's say this per se, it's literally going to cause insult to injury. Okay. If you push your edge of your press on a tape line, you're causing it to divot in. So you're already adding issues to an already braked point. Okay. Because not every one of us has an Epson 570. Okay. So I will also bring this board so I know where I have to move this up to. Whoops, this is the one I have to move. So that I can make sure everything is going to be under my press. Okay? Perfect. Remember, I'm a clamshell user. All right? As a clamshell user, the back goes to the front long before the front does, right? So we're going to line everything up. We've protected this investment. Now, because I know this, I'm going to crank it just a quarter of a crank because I knew it was tight. Well, I really want to make sure this is tight. I have it at 385 for 65. I have my line up here, seams in here. We're just going to drop it. And just let it go. Okay. So if I go to peek in underneath the hood, so to speak, and I see that there's some weird shadowing marks, as long as your thing is taped down, you will be able to swing your board all around, do-si-a-do, and you'll be able to press it down again. I have been known to repress things. I'm going to attempt, if there's an issue, to repress neoprene. Neoprene is one of those ones I do not like to repress. It never lines up back the way it's supposed to, and that makes for a very interesting conversation. So we don't typically like to repress on an area when it comes to neoprene because of a swelling issue. Although this one doesn't swell, that doesn't mean that it doesn't happen. Okay. So again, board method. Get yourself a board. This is the best investment for your shop. Add some Teflon sheeting to it. It helps for larger projects. Even if you have an 11 by 15, Patty's got 11 by 15, she could make a bottom board big enough to be able to handle things. Now, I'm going to put my thumb on this paper so nothing pops up. Watch how easy this is. Now, this is where my line is. A typical, you do not want to press too far on your line. Okay, so I'm going to bring it out just a little. But I'm going to try something just slightly different. We're just going to try it, right? Because I know this is my seam. And I'm going to tuck my seam back in underneath here. We're going to try something a little bit different. Normally, I would tell you don't press, only press just slightly over the seam. Or your first press mark is what I mean. So where your press mark is, normally I would say just barely press over the edge of that. I'm going to see if I go over it a little bit more right where my seam is. and see what happens. So I am pre-pressing over another area I've already pressed. All right. We want to see what happens. Let me make the mistake so you don't. All right. That's why we do this. So you have your board. The board gives you a more workable space. It's less frustrating. This is great for your baby blankets, your bigger towels, any large substrates that you have a problem with where you don't have a big enough press. This board helps you to give you a bigger area so you can move things back and forth. That's a beautiful thing. I have to tell you, I've been using the board method for at least 4 years now. And it all came and stemmed from the fact is I did not have a large enough space, nor did I have a large enough press. Because at the time, my press was a 16 by 20, right? But it went this way, right? So that made for some interesting conversation as to how to press things, and I had a pull-out drawer, but it still didn't help me. By adding that piece of board, it allowed for me to shift things back and forth with ease without having to feel frustrated through the process, right? So here's your process. We know about sublimation. Again, I'm putting my thumb here so we can let it, see, looks good. Okay. The process is this. You print out your sublimation, right? I'm going to provide designs. This design that you're going to see, I'm going to provide it already split for you based on a 13 by 19 print. I will not be doing it for anything smaller. I will also be giving you the frames so you can lay this out however you want. All right, so let's just peek in underneath the hood here. And where I want to peek is along my edges. And I'm okay with it. I'm good with it. So far, I'm good with it. But that's more rich in color. So, because why not, right? You're like, Nikki, just double press it. What do you have to lose here, Nick? My sanity. That's what we have to lose. Okay. So, you're going to watch me do this. Whoo! Hot Toledo. Okay. I'm going to repress this one corner because this corner's I'm not loving it. I think doing these things.
So, Nikki.
Yeah.
Someone asked, do you mark before the second press? You know how you usually do your pencil mark?
The pencil mark, you can. You absolutely can. I'm going to see if we can't get around doing that just by overlapping it a generous amount. And I'm now going to, there's one section here that is going to be pressed 3 times. So we're going to see what happens because I need to know, and then it helps you to know. Okay. So I didn't need it to be in there a lot. So we're going to see how I did. See. Okay. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Woo, woo. Yeah, buddy. Sorry. Oh, you want to see it? Tough. I like to see my mistakes first. Thanks. Get it. Okay. Damn, that's good. I'm so proud of me. Hey, listen, I still get excited when I do things correctly. Now, here's the beautiful part. Because I did this design so well, you, 1, can't find my center seam. 2, you cannot see where I double, triple pressed it. Get it. Okay, this sucker's hot. That's why I'm not picking it up. I just want you to know.
Protect your investments and show us.
Huh?
So protect your investments and show us.
I'm getting there, ma'am. I'm getting there. But your girl keeps losing her darn gloves. All right. Oh, yeah. Nope, that's not going to do. All right. You know what? It's pot holder time. Okay.
You do what you got to do.
Gotta do what you got to do, yo. Okay. Sorry, I can't even be that way. So here we are. Here we go. Hold on. There we go. Look at me go. Oh, we'll go all the way through it. Okay. So, because y'all want to see it. It's so pretty. And hold on. I'm trying to see where it is. Sorry. So there's this. We're just going to keep moving it over. Okay.
It is so beautiful.
It's hard to show it off really close. Like,
And no, you
legit.
can't see where you pressed it. The
Huh?
lines at all. I said you can't see the lines at all.
No, because I honestly lined it up with a line. Oh, there's the hack. So let's talk about this hack for a hot second. If you're going to line something up and you need to piece it, find a point that it won't matter that you've pieced it there. Like, you have to find a spot. It could be a slight lightness in the line. By adding wood to the background, it added a texture, right? So the texture, you're not picking it up. I know exactly where it is. Okay. You cannot see that at all. I hope she loves it. So these are Miss Beverly's grandbabies. What you will get is this backdrop without the wording and with the wording. I will have cut it in half for you. You will then be able to go in and place your frames for your grandbabies, or whatever you may be. So this is the one that I did for her. She's got 8. Randy's already commissioned me to do a 12 one. She goes, can you just do the 12 for me so I don't have to place them? Because I'm not really good at that. So you will get some that have the sunflowers on it and the frame. You just have to lay your picture behind it. Okay. And that's all you have to do. But I'm looking for my flaws. I just need you to know that right now. So there you go. I hope she loves it. Does she love it? Jody, does Beverly love it?
She's not here.
I thought I saw her.
I haven't seen her yet.
Hold on. Yeah, she did. She goes, my babies. Okay. So, love it. She might come up as Facebook user. All right. So there's that. All right. So now let's clean the slate here. We're going to talk about something that I swore I'd never do. Swore I'd never do it. Okay. God, my hair is a hot mess today. I'm so sorry, guys. It's Tuesday, right? It is Tuesday, right? Yes, she loves it, she says. All right. Okay. So let's get rid of this guy right here. Done. We're going to knock this down. I can't even believe I'm doing this on television. But you know what? I am the first to tell you when I'm blissfully wrong. I am the first to tell you that I will eat crow. And it's about to happen right now. You guys have longed for the day when I say that I have been wrong about something. And you've wanted to see me eat crow, because that's just fun and exciting, because why not, right? We're going to reuse this paper because, well, we're going to talk about it. For the sake of this tutorial, we are reusing our butcher paper. Okay. I feel like I have to explain myself. What size is my press? My press is 16 by 20. Okay, so here's where I'm eating crow. Back 100 years, it feels that way. I made a comment, and I've stuck by this comment. I've legit stuck by this comment. And I stuck by it so much that I said, I am never going to use this product. It is not a good product. I'm not doing it. Okay. And I stuck by that. Well, I saw something on the good old TikTok, and I was like, well, now dang it, I got to figure out how that works, because why not? So let's just say I had a feather of an idea, and I had to keep trying to sublimate on this feather. And I said, I have no idea. I had lots of fails. It didn't work, but I'm like, we are going to figure out how this person, and I'm going to give a shout out to them as Texas Cottage, sublimated on their feathers. I never asked. I'm like, I will figure it out for myself. There's got to be a way. So I figured it out, and I want to show you the end product of them, because this is just, I don't think you understand how much you can actually sublimate on a feather. This one, the paper stuck, but whatever. Like, you can sublimate on a feather. Now you're asking me, why is this important? Because you can add them to keychains, you can add them to key fobs, or you could add them to anything really. A lot of people in the South like to put them on their cowboy hats. They like to put different themes on them, whatever it may be. And I needed to know how they did it. It was one of those TikTok made me do it moments, and I figured it out. Okay, so here's my handy dandy feathers that I can't even believe I'm about to say this. You know what? I love you people. I thought about another way too, and there's definitely two ways to do this, and I'm going to tell you both ways. I didn't do it the one way, but it's plausible. But I did it this way, and it worked. So the first way is for the sublimation DTF hack. If you know what it is, if you know, you know. I'm not explaining it. And don't ask me about it because I'm not explaining it. You just go find it on the TikTok. You'll figure out what the sublimation DTF hack is and do that. That was just way too much work for me. I don't know why it was too much work, but it just was. So I went and found me some dye press spray. Amazon, because that's where Jeff shops. Anyway, so dye press spray, it's sublimation coating for fabrics. FYI, I'm still not using this sucker on fabrics at all. I'm not. It adds a chemical to your fabric. I still stand by that. I don't know what it's going to do, and I'm sure as hell not going to put it on a baby product, because that's just another catastrophe if a child's allergic to it. All right. So I would only use this for feathers, or maybe tote bags that somebody is never going to use, whatever it may be. I don't even know the washability of this. Okay. Because I'm using it on feathers. So I pre-treated my feathers, and I just left them to dry on my board here so that they could heat up. What I want to do is check my, that's going to be a little tight. Okay. Check my pressure. I don't want it too tight. Okay. I'm kind of,
Hey, Nikki. There's no sound. You went muted. Hold, please.
Jody.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay. If it goes, it might be because my one thing is dying. So we'll make this quick. You'll just have to let me know if it dies again.
Okay.
Okay. It just means I have to charge my thing. Okay. So let's just get through this. So we're going to lay the feather down. I'm just going to tape the bottom. We're going to put, oh, you know what? I should have put that on Maddie. I just want to see if you could put somebody's face on it. That was the only reason I did that. Okay. I know these are overkill in designs. I get that. But you guys are here for the crazy and to see me eat crow. So why not? All right. I am literally going to do all three at the same time. One, because I don't know how long my battery life is going to be. All right. Here we go. So when I did these, I did a little bit firmer pressure, and I hadn't let it go all the way through. I mean, look at the color on that one. So the color on this is absolutely amazing. Where do I get these feathers? Are they anything special? I got them on Amazon. I will put the link in my Amazon shop. But they just had to be a flat white feather. That was it.
The colors are beautiful.
What?
I said the colors are beautiful.
Oh, yeah. The time and temp I have it on is 385 for 65. So these could be used for a lot of things. You could put school mascot type stuff on there. You know. All right. I'm letting it do its thing. We got about 20 more seconds, about 15 more seconds. So it's nothing crazy. I'm not sure how rich these, because I did change the pressure just a little bit on this particular batch, and because I had it firm pressure on those ones. And the reason being is I thought, oh, I have to go heavy pressure on it. So I lightened up the pressure just a little bit so the paper wouldn't stick. I also made sure that they thoroughly dried. So I'm going to peek under the hood, see what we got here before I decide maybe I want to add some more pressure. Oh, this is gorgeous. Like, really? Hey, guess what? It's hot. Damn, she's good. Now, if you get paper that sticks on it, check that out. Like, bam! It's a dye press spray. I will put the link in my Amazon shop. I will put all the links to this, don't worry, in my Amazon.com/shop/the Sassy Subber. I ask you guys to please use that affiliate link, because remember, as a group, we are sprinkling 4 different groups. I know that's 3, but 4 different groups this year with contributions from all my affiliate links. So check that out. Right? It's kind of badass. Okay. So I'm going to show you Maddie's after. Now let's see how this one turned out. Now, as you can see, I know this is a big design. And the paper does stick to the tape. And everything else. Oh, I broke my feather. I was breaking anyway, but I'll show it to you. I decided to use a broken feather. Let me pull this other part off. Now, this paper is sticking. And I know that I had taken just a wet cloth and the paper had come off. So it's one of those things you might have to just play around with your time, temp, and pressure. For you, feathers are cheap. Okay. And you literally want to make sure. I put 2 layers of that dye press stuff on it. Here, I'll show you without the, I put 2 layers of the dye press on this, and it's sublimated beautifully. You just want to make sure it's thoroughly dry before you do it. Take off my tape, but see, right? So many possibilities. So there's that one. All right, now here's the one that I got to see how this turns out, because people always ask. All right, so if you find a feather, it's from somebody in heaven. You see where I went with this one? Oh, she's beautiful. Okay, so this girl has not passed by any stretch of the imagination, but I just wanted to show you. I just happen to have her picture sitting in front of me. But I wanted to show you that you can even put a human face on it. I mean, how gorgeous is that girl? She is stunning. Like, she's got the cutest face, but you could put a face on it. So you could use it for a wide variety of reasons. A lot of people, like I said, will put them in their hats, will put them with beads and hang them with things. But yes, Charlie.
Okay, boss. No more sound again.
Okay, so I'm on this one. I'm going to have to yell because it's literally the other one across the way. So I do apologize. I have to charge my thing. So I may sound really far away, but that's okay. So what do you guys think? Do you love it? Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, so yes, you absolutely can. Hold on. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. Hold, please. Hold, please. Hi there. Okay, so this is just better because my microphone absolutely died. So there you go. That's what these look like when you press them. I mean, those are the colors. They're rich in colors. So I did 2 coats. I did a light coat first, let it dry. I did another coat on it, let it dry. I let it dry flat on my press while my press was heating up. Let the warmth from it just so that it lays flat. So it laid like just like this. And then I laid the paper over it. And then, yes, if your paper sticks, you can use just a washcloth or whatever. While it's flat, you could sit there and take the paper off. Not a problem, but now you know. If you want a rabbit hole, you're into feathers, that's your thing. There you go. I mean, this is just absolutely amazing, right? That's the back side. Look at the back. So there's the back, there's the front. I'll do it on all of them. There's the back, or the front, and the back. Now, could you press both sides of it? You probably could, but the problem is it's like doing a single-sided flag. You have to, the whole mirror thing, right? My really weird one. And then the back. And last but not least, this gorgeous girl. She's on a feather now. Okay. And then there you go. I probably could have added another thing of dye spray onto hers. I think I was just very light-handed with it, but it still has a beautiful look to it. I love how it has kind of some shadowing parts on here, so it gives it a very angelic look on here. Ooh, where did the dye? And then you can just trim up all of this. So it's nice. I use pinking shears because that's what I had sitting in front of me, but you can trim these all up so they're nice. Get some feathers that, if you can find them, get the feathers that don't have any like wispies on them, that you don't have to trim them. But there you go. There's your rabbit hole of all rabbit holes for this evening. Guys, thanks so much for this. Let me go over to it to show you guys. Let me go grab the neoprene, and we're going to do what we call the recap. Just watch me walk away for a second. All right. Here we go. On tonight's Sass, we talked about the neoprene desk mats from RREM Distributors. All right. So RREM Distributors is on Shopify. If Jody can throw that link up, that'd be great. I'm going to do a close-up picture of it because we have different lighting over here at the desk. Okay. This is what it looks like. Oh, look at that. I can get it all on one screen. I look like Wilson. Hello, Wilson. Okay, sorry. So that is what it looks like on both sides. And you can't tell me where that seam is. You have no idea where the seam is, and I lined it up perfectly. But do you want to know where it is? Sure, I'll show you. Okay? It happens to be the weak point is the line that comes right down. Whoops, where am I? Right down here between the D and the A. I lined them up absolutely perfectly, and there's black there. I intentionally lined it up where I was going to have to put black. Why? To prove that I could do it. Okay, prove that I could get through this. So there's that. I double and triple pressed over this area, and look, no shadowing. So that was a win. There's only one error in here. I'm not going to point that out. You don't need to know that. It's not a you problem. It's a me problem, but that's okay. So we did that. I did it at 385 for 65. I used the board method, right? The board method is definitely something everybody should use. Why? Because it just gives you more surface area. It makes it so things don't droop down and make things a lot harder for you. You guys are already tackling a really hard process, and that is not only pressing 2 different prints taped together, so you're taping your design, plus you may be double and triple pressing. For those people who are going to have to triple press it, you can do it. You can do it. And you listen, you got this. This is also a great thing to learn on for projects. If you ever want a project to learn on, this mat would be a great one for you to learn on, because if you can press and double press and triple press and whatever on these mats and not have a problem, you pretty much can conquer anything at this point, because neoprene is not very forgiving. So there is that. Then you watched me eat crow. That's right, I did. I ate crow. I did something I swore I wasn't going to do. I used dye press spray. I still stand by the fact I'm not going to use it on material like a shirt for an infant or a child or an adult. I'm not going to use it. I'm just not. I'm not about that life. I don't want to deal with whatever chemicals are going to be in that shirt and what could possibly be an allergic reaction to somebody. Will I use it on those feathers? Yeah, I will. I will definitely use it on those feathers. That's a great little asset to add to those keychains, those key charms, or the car charms, whatever you want to add it to, whatever decorations. Think of the door signs. You can now stick a feather in there and call it macaroni. Sorry, it was there. So anyway, you can totally put it in things and add the decor, whatever it may be. But now you know you can sublimate a feather using dye press spray. You'll be able to find them all in my link on the Amazon store. I will let you guys know after this live that they have all been added, and the feathers that I use. I will even go and search for feathers that don't have the little thingies on the side. So don't worry about that. Thanks so much for joining me and Jody. Say goodnight, Jody.
Good night, y'all.
I was waiting for saying good night, Jody. Thanks so much for joining me. This has been the Sass for Tuesday, February 7th. Thanks so much. And you guys know where you can find myself and Jody. You know where, on that flip side. Have a good one, everyone.